And then if I can see the entire pipeline with some examples, it'll be appreciated. I don't want to be an expert over here with the pipeline. I am not interested in being expert. I'm a project manager, and I need to understand this to a good level.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Harish, Pradeep, it's like this. So what I understood, you'd like to understand the big picture. So let me start with something like this.
Okay, the big picture as well as what really happens, installation and all that, if possible.
Sure, we'll do that. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's get started. You're the manager right now, and you're handling
Yes.
a product called Product X. Okay, and you've been assigned to develop this product. That name of the product is Product X. Now,
Yeah.
you want to understand how can you get started and do the three things as part of it. One goal is quality release, second thing immediate release, third thing we'll have to also make sure that cost reduction. So you have got this project that's called Product X you have to develop, and this is the goal, not the product development is the goal. That's by default, that's the expectation. But on the top of that, your management has put these three goals. The product, whatever you are releasing, it should be at most quality, okay? At most quality.
Sure.
And you should be able to release any given point of the time. So if I ask you, okay, today you have to do the production release, and I ask you now you have to do the production release, you should be able to say, yes, I am ready for the production release. You do not need 1 week, you do not need 1 month, you do not need few weeks. You have to be ready for the production release any given point of the time. And then top of it, your management is also asking you cost reduction. Okay, so you should not be spending too much of your resources, you should not be spending too much of your infrastructure, you should be not having a number of other goals. So now how can you achieve this? Okay, you can achieve this through DevOps. Okay, you can achieve everything through DevOps. Now let me tell you, DevOps is not a tool, not a team, not a role. It is a cultural and mindset change with the bringing lots of automation in place and sharing whatever you are doing with others and monitoring whatever is happening across the project, and it should be shared among everyone. Okay, sharing and learning. Okay, so now this is the goal which you have got it, and you need to achieve how. So you can get it through all these things through the DevOps, and I'm just trying to simplify the DevOps in some very shortest span of time. DevOps is a culture and mindset, automation, sharing and learning and monitoring. Now, if you want to understand more about the DevOps, because it's a large topic and I may not be able to explain you in a very short span of time. So what we need to do, you need to probably, once you have a time, come to the devopsschools.com tutorials, click on the DevOps and watch this video, which is approx to 3 to 3.5 hours, and in this video you will find the perspective of the DevOps. Right now I'm sending this link to you, so you can please note it down and you can watch this video later point of the time to understand more about the DevOps.
Sure.
Now,
sure.
Let's back to the business. Now you've been assigned to develop a product development product X. So that's your product name. So now for that, you are going to hire architect team, okay, who's going to design your product, understand the scoping, understand the limitation, competitor analysis, and everything. You know that how it works. So basically, software analysis and design architect will be doing, and then things will be in shape. Once the product is designed, then you are also needed a development team who's going to program for it, right? You need someone who's going to program for all this design which you have concluded. You are also going to hire QA people who's going to test your software, whichever is been developed by programmer. And also you are going to need IT team, sometimes you call it infrastructure management team, who's going to help you architect, development, QA for having the machines, networking, security, software installations, hardware setups, everything is been done. You need also require the DB guys who's going to admin your database related activities and also have the smooth transition for the DevOps and QA. You are also going to hire build and release team who's going to manage the coordination between the dev, QA, IT and DB and help you to have a smooth transition. And probably you need operations guys as well, which is going to work on the production side. They're going to take care of your production servers, monitoring and updating, upgrading, installation and everything. So you need all these people, and you know that to develop a software which is product X, you need these people to work with. Now, the challenge, the goal which you have is quality release, immediate release and cost reduction. And the problem what we will be having, how to achieve. So in a way I did tell you DevOps is a solution, but what are you going to do in DevOps to achieve this stuff, achieve this goal? Okay, and this is a very major goal actually, this is a major goal. So what are you going to do? So basically cultural and mindset is something like you have to develop over the period of time. You need to talk to your employees. You need to be aware about the cultural and mindset changes. You have to make it within yourself. Your organization has to make it. Your employees has to make it, and everyone has to work together. That's something I'm not talking about. But the important things which I'm talking about right now, how can you work on the automation front? How can you use the tools to get the task done, because that's important again. And then how this automation will help you in terms of sharing, learning and monitoring and all this stuff. So now let me get started with it. So architect is the person who's designing the software, so he's going to use some of the tools. So probably you are going to use, he's going to use the tools like a Trello. Sometime architect uses Jira as well for the project management modules. Sometimes they use the Visual Studio Online also. So there's so many tools available in the market which they use. Some multimedia tool also they use for the design the software. So there's so many things they use it to design the software, to have a requirement analysis in place and everything. But now once this is completed, then the real challenges which is coming like a development. So first challenges which developers is getting, let's say you have a 10 developers and 10 developers is working with the 10 different modules. The challenge and the problem which you will be getting, how can you integrate the source code? So this is called source code integration. How can you have it? So basically, because there are 10 people in this project, there are 10 people in the project, 10 modules are there. So you are going to set a process in which everyone should be able to integrate the source code without spending any time. Why? Because remember, if you have a team of 100 people, then if you do not have an automation, if you do not have a process, and if you do not have a practice, one person has to talk to 99 people, and in this case, one person has to talk to 9 people to collaborate their code, and that's not a good idea, because you're going to spend a lot of time on the integration front rather than development front. And let me tell you, developers has been hired to code, not for integration. So of course you're going to find some solution for it. So you have got the solution in form of SVN, we have got the Git, we have got the TFS. So these are the solutions which will help you to store all the code changes. So you will be granting access to SBN Git or whatever the tools you are using for the storing the source code, and they'll be storing the source code here rather than talking to each other. So now everyone will be able to collaborate the source code here. Okay, so now you could got one challenge is done. Now you are using source code management, which is helping you to integrate the source code and things like that. But it's like this, only having the source code, which you are not going to get a success, because the source code has to be converted into binaries. Okay, so source code has to convert into binaries. Okay, so that process we will put it as part of the build management. Okay, so build management is also not that easy the way we think. Probably you have a .NET platform, probably you do have a Java platform, probably you want to compile in the Windows, probably you want to compile in Linux or both, probably you want to compile with the JDK 5, probably you want to compile with JDK 6, probably you want to have 10 different configuration for the compilation requirement, and then you have to create a directory structure. Okay, you have to copy the source file, you need to compile it, set the compiler, all this task you have to do, set the compiler, compile it, you need test cases, you run it, and everything you do it, and then copy the binary to desired location. This is the simplest way to I'm putting it. Maybe you have much more tasks. Okay, so all this thing, and also on the top of that, copy to desired. Before the compilation, probably you are setting up the dependency. This is very important. So maybe your project, which is having two kind of dependencies, it can be internal and it can be external. External is like this, your programmers are using some of the external libraries like a jQuery and so on to make it your software functional, and some of the time you do have internal dependencies as well, like module 1 is dependent on module 5, module 8 is dependent on module 6, like that. So you have to map it up your dependency management. So this is the small set of the process which you follow to convert the source code into the binaries. Okay, and now on the top of that, this you have to do how many times? You have to do, let's say, 20 times in a day. So how are you going to do that? Okay, how are you going to do this? So again, you are going to bring someone who's capable to bringing the automating the build environment, and then probably he is going to use some of the tools like Maven and MS Build, Gradle, and tools like this, which will help you to do the source code to the source code. He's going to help you to source code and conversion to the binaries. Okay, am I making any sense now?
Yeah, you are. But just one thing, Rajesh, when you when you build, is that only one compiler, or there are different compilers? Java compiler, TDK compiler. There are different compilers. Is there only one compiler or many compilers?
Depends on the source code. If your programmers has written if your product X is in Java, Perl, Python, .NET, so you need to set all this compiler in your scripts like Maven, Ant, and MS Build and Gradle.
Okay, I got it. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So now you got the source code managed efficiently with the help of the tools like SBN and Git and all. You got the build management also done with the help of the tools like Maven, Ant, and MS Build and Gradle. You could automate this process, but you have a 10,000s of source code. You converted 10,000s of binary code. Are you going to give this binary code to your QA guys, or are you going to give these binaries to the client? No, of course not. You give not the binaries, which is you can have 100 or thousands, but you give the packages. Okay, so packages also is very challenging word actually. Packaging is also very challenging word. Okay, you have two kind of packaging as of now which you support. System packaging. Oh yeah, I was right. Application packaging. and system-based packaging. So what is this application packaging? The application packaging, just some of the examples are like a jar file, tar file, GIF file, war file, DLLs. These are the application-based packaging. That means you have a Java, so you convert that application Java files to the jar or war or whatever is that. So now you have a C++ file, probably you want to convert into DLL or object file. So these are the kind of application packaging which you have it. You do have a system-based packaging also. It's like exe file, MSI file, you have RPM file, you have Debian file, you have DMG for the Apple. So you have system-based packaging also. So you have application-based packaging, you have system-based packaging. Okay, so you have to create these packages based on your specification and based on your need, and you have many tools for that. You create a packages for, let's say, using installed anywhere, install anywhere, you use install shell, you build SHIELD, you use Wix, you use WinZip, okay, you will use Tarball, you use all this sort of the YG, you use RPM build. So many software are there which will help you to create a packages which based on the requirement, and then you got it done. So now you could see that you got the source code management challenges could help with the SVN, GET, TFS, build related challenges you could get with the AND, Maven and MS build and Gradle. Now you had a packaging related challenges, so you could get it done all this with the help of tools, and you could get all the packages. But the question is how and where you are going to keep these packages. So probably earlier we used to use the shared drive and FTPs, but now we are not using FTPs and shared drive. Why? Because now we need to have the package integrity in place, because we don't have a time. Remember the time which we don't have, because the goal was immediate release. So we don't have a time to have the lazy process. So the package integrity, that means integrity of the package should be maintained. Integrity, if the package whatever you are copying, it should be verified whether the no bytes should be missed, no data should be missed. So because if you miss some of the information in your packages, then you deploy the wrong packages, then you waste time. Actually we lose time, and that is what we don't have. So package integrity should be maintained, package should be secured, secured, it should be easy.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
basically CIA, maintain the confidentiality.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I understand that. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah. So package integrity should be maintained. It should be secure. It should be easy and available 24/7 and 24/7. So whenever anyone needs these packages, they can get it easily without having any dependencies. And also dependency should be matched and all the stuff. And on the top of that, admin activity should be like backup, archival, and all. It should be easy. Backup, cleanup,
yeah.
And restore should be self-driven rather than someone you should hire and get these things done. No, it should not be done. So how can you do all this activity? Because you remember, you using this packaging process, you are generating 20 packages in a day. So if you're generating 20 packages in a day, so that means in 30 days you are generating around 600 packages, and that is only for the one project. Probably if you are having an organization is having multiple products, that is a hell lot of packages. So you have to store the packages in some system which has all these capabilities, and this is just a small list of it. So now when you talk about this storing the packages, then you have a repository management system. So now there are two kind of repository management system. Okay, one is public repository repo, and another one is private repo. So public repo is something like this. We have a public repo which is Apache Maven repo, We have Apple Store. We have Play Store where you get the Android packages. We do have a Yum Store, Yum Package Manager. We have APT for the Ubuntu. So there's so many public repository we have it. We have NuGet.org from the Microsoft. So many public repository we have it. But you are not going to store these packages on public repository because that is used for the public. That's not something like you can do anything about it. So now where are you going to store the private repository? So we have a solution like SonarType Nexus, Archiva, Artifactory, we have NuGet again, Enterprise and stuff like that. So these are the solution you can use for storing the packages. Okay, now this is the thing. So you
Rajesh.
Yeah,
Rajesh, can we use Git and all this for storage also?
No, because Git is meant for the storing the text-based file. Any files in a simple way, which can open with the notepad, or is in a simple way text-based file that you can store in the Git. Okay, because the purpose of the Git to do the versioning, but if you store the you can still store that binaries, but remember the size. You are having 600 packages in a month, so it will unnecessarily grow your size and you will not be able to clean up. That's a problem, because it will go on storing the files and you will not be able to get rid of the histories. So that's not a good practice. So you should store only the binaries in the repository like this. Okay?
No, Git has got an Artifactory.
Git
has got Artifactory. I'm just confirming it. Git has got a normal storage and an Artifactory. Is that correct?
No, Git is not got any as such.
Okay. All right, Rajesh.
Yeah, Git is a source code management tool, and that's all about it. Okay. So sure. You should not store the packages in the Git. Why? Because Git is meant for the versioning. So it's like this. You are, let's say, I'll just give you an example why you should not store. Your package is, let's say, 100 MB. Okay. Now, if you store and you are, let's say like this, you have a packages which is 100 MB and you have a source file which is 1 MB. Okay, now it's like this, growth will be like this, 100 MB and you add one more, you will become 100 MB, you'll become one more, you'll become 100 MB. Now if you modify the source code, probably 10 KB or 10 KB I'm talking about. Okay, let's say 100 KB. So like this, so growth will be like this. So just imagine, and here you cannot get rid of this because it's the task of the Git is to maintain the version, so maintain the history, so you'll not be able to get rid of it. Okay, so that way by end of the year your source code, maybe you are having, let's say 200 MB, but your repository size of the Git will become 1 TB. That will be unmanageable. Okay, unmanageable. So you should not store the packages in the Git. So where you can store? You should store your packages in the tools like this, which will help you to clean up automatically, which will help you to do a lot of other things as well automatically. So that's basically designed for this. Okay, so if you have a packages, you have to use any one of the solutions. Okay, now okay, so now you could see you got the source code managed in the tools like Git. You could build management using the build and Maven. You could do the packaging management with the number of tools. You could store the packages in the repository. Now what else? What are you going to do with the packaging? So you are going to deploy the packaging. So deploy management. Now deployment is also not easy, because you deploy. Why? Because you deploy to test the software. So QA is going to run their test cases on the deployed software to validate whether whatever you develop is right or not, right? So those are right or not. So basically what you're going to do, so in order to deploy the software, again this is not easy task, okay, it's not easy task. Now let's say you want 100 server deployment, okay, 100 server deployment. Now, out of this 100 server deployment, your QA says, I need to deploy 15 Windows server and 50 in Linux server. Okay, that is fine. But also he says, you have to deploy 20 in MS SQL, 25 in MySQL, 25 in MS SQL, and 25 in Postgres. Okay, that is also fine. Now again he says, I need to deploy 25 with JBoss application server. You need to deploy 25 with Tomcat application server. You need to deploy 25 with, let's say, WebLogic. You need to deploy 25 with the web sphere server. So that means it's a kind of configuration. Now again they said we have 100 different configuration and 120 different bugs scenario. I need to test it. So basically deployment is also very complicated, and top of that they say all this deployment has to be ready in hundreds of these server, okay, in let's say 5 minutes. So how can you do that? So challenges what you will get, how can you get the servers in 2 minutes, let's say, that's the one question. And how can you get the 100 servers, let's say 100 servers, how can you deploy the 100 servers with hundreds of specification in 3 minutes altogether? So then only you can complete this deployment in 5 minutes. That's a challenge. How can you get the 100 servers in 2 minutes? So what are the solutions we have? So you have a solutions like a cloud, AWS, where you can get the hundreds of machines within few seconds. Okay, you can get the solutions like Azure. Okay, if you are using a private cloud, that is also possible, like a VMware. Okay, so using the infrastructure tools like a cloud and virtualization tools like AWS or Azure or VMware, you can get it all these things in 2 minutes. Now how can you deploy in these machines, these servers using in 3 minutes? Because how and everything should be automated. There are tools which we call it configuration management tool. We have Chef for that, we have a Puppet for that, we have Ansible for it, we have Ansible, we have Salt for this. So we have too many tools. We call it configuration management tool, config management tool, which we use in order to deploy. And now you could get it, deployment management is done. But nowadays also one technology which is becoming very popular, and that is called containerization. Okay, containerization. So deployment is very easy using the containerization. So let's say you have 100 deployment, 100 seconds, okay, using the Docker. So nowadays technology is booming a lot and Docker is free. Okay, so you can use this. So now you could see that, okay, you started with the product development which is called product X. You wanted to do the code collaboration, you got it done through the Git. Now you could get the build management related things, you could get it done through the Maven, you could get the packaging related things, you could get it through Jar, you can get it the repository management through the Nexus, you could get the deployment management through the Chef, Puppet or Ansible or Salt on this platform like cloud or private cloud or Docker containerization. And then your QA is coming into the picture and he is going to run the acceptance test. And again we have so many tests. It should be acceptance test should be running here, okay, automatically, and then automatically you should be passing this feedback, okay, whether it's pass or fail, okay, and then it should be shared to the team, sharing with the team immediately, okay, and then this is how it is. But again, we do have some more process in it. It's like this: we have one process which is called code coverage. Code coverage, that means what is the percentage of the testing has been completed so far, okay. So that is that we call it code coverage, okay, coverage, okay. So the percentage of the testing has been done, and it should be automatically done. So we do have so many tools for that. We have a Jacoco, we have Kobuchura, we have Emma till some extent, we have Covarity, we have so many 45. So many tools are there, okay, which will help you to do the code coverage, and it will tell you whether the percentage of the testing through the automation you have done it or not, okay. And if you have not done it, you have to increase the number of automated test cases, and it will be done by the QA. So this is the kind of things. Now IT is involved in terms of infrastructure providing, like say AWS, Azure, VMware, whatever it is, networking, all this stuff, okay, Docker related things, and maybe sometime deployment also they'll help you, okay. Now DB team will be help you with the database operation. Build and release will help you to transitions, all the build and release activities whatever we discussed so far, and operations will help you to deploy into the production and manage the software. And that is how we do that. One of the things which I did not discuss here to start with here. So after that code analysis, code you have checked in the source code, which is like a Git, you have to do the static code analysis. That means you need to find out that who's writing a good code, who's writing a bad code, because you should also remember here you are talking about the quality release, and quality release is important starting from the quality codes, okay, because 70% of the bugs which will come after the releases, which will be source of the bad quality. So you should verify the code which you are building it should be with the utmost quality as well. So there's just many tools which we have for the quality analysis, like PMD, check style, and style, find bugs, and all the stuff. And all this thing you put it together on SonarQube, which has all these rules, and you run it and know the code quality, share with the developers and get it done. So this is more or less you do with the software development and transitioning from the source code until to the operations. Any questions?
Good, thank you, Rajesh. Rajesh, one thing I don't, one thing I just somewhere it's missed out is the testing. I understand the QA does some testing. I also understand the production people also do some testing. The developers also do testing. Am I correct?
Yeah. So when developers do the testing, they do that unit testing, okay. They do the unit testing in their own desktop. So they do unit testing by developers. So that's done by the developers. They only write it, and some of the technology which we have, like JUnit or NUnit for the .NET. So these are the technology they use for the testing in their own environment. Now when you talk about the acceptance testing, which required functional testing, performance testing, security testing, smoke testing, balance testing, load balance testing, all this thing is coming as part of the acceptance test, and this has been written by the QA people.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, now this is just the kind of introduction. So what we concluded from out of this, what we concluded pipeline is, I am going to pick one tool out of each from the every aspect. So now I am going to put Jira, okay, and after that I am going to put it Git. After that I am going to put it SonarQube for the static code management. After that I am going to put it Maven for the build management. After that I am going to put Jar for the packaging. After that I am going to have the unit after the Maven, let's say JUnit, JUnit for the unit test cases. Okay, after that I'm going to put jar packaging. After that I'm going to put packaging into the Nexus repository. From the Nexus, the deployment will be done by the chef, which will be dummy. Okay, and then here after the deployment you have to run the acceptance testing, which is a dummy, and then after that you'll have to do code coverage, which will be like this. So now this flow I'll be using, so these many tools I'll be using to showcase the pipeline which you are trying to visualize it so far. So that is your objective. So now we need these tools: Jira, Git, Code, SonarQube, Maven, JUnit, Jar, Nexus, Chef, coverage tools like Jacoco. Okay, for this Jacoco, and then ultimately do the release. Okay, and then where all these tools can be integrated, because we have so many tools, so many processes, but we need one place which will be used to centralize all these tools, and that is called Jenkins CI tools. So what's the meaning of the CI? CI stands for the continuous integration. In this things, it's like it says automated build, automated unit test cases, automated static code analysis, automated packaging, automated deployment, and automated code coverage, and automated release, and then plus immediate feedback is being called as a CI. Okay, continuous integration.
Thank you.
So this is what I am trying to build it. So we need all these tools, and then top of that I'm going to put it on Jenkins, and that is how we will do that. So now I'm going to get into the demo. Do you have any questions?
No, thanks very much. Excellent. Thank you, Rajesh.
Yeah. So now I am going to the AWS, because my demo, I don't want to waste time, because if I use the local machine, you'll be spending with me 5 hours just for creating this environment, but I'm going to use AWS, so you'll be spending less time and more faster training. So let's go with EC2, and I'm going to get one high-end machine for this requirement, because I need to install a hell lot of things in one machine. It's cost, but we'll save some time here. So I'll go for the 8 GB RAM. Okay, and adding storage 32 GB should be sufficient for me, and configure security here. Okay, so now also you can visualize the power of AWS, how fast this is. I got this machine which is here, and now I'm going to log into this machine using the putty. I'll locate my keys, which is somewhere here, and open up. Let me make this appearance better so you can see it better way. Can you see it better?
Yes, much clearer. Thank you.
Yeah. So AC2-user. This is my login, and now I'll become a root, so I should not get into the trouble of permission issues, so which will waste time and stuff like that. So now, first thing what I need is, I am going to need a Jira. Okay, so I am going to need a Jira, and quickly what I am going to do, I am going to Jira download. I will download the Jira. My operating system is Linux. Let me go this Linux 64-bit. I can see it's got started, but I don't want to start this guy, because I don't want to download in the local, but rather than, because it will take hours of time to download it, even though if you have a nice speed in India, but AWS is super fast. I'm going to the OPT, and here I'm going to install wget utility, which will help me to download. This VM is very base, so I need to install some of the tools which I needed. Okay, so now I got this. Here I'm going to download this guy, and I'm downloading Jira, which is around let's say more than 200 MB. I got it immediately, and here it is. Now Jira needs Java, so I need to install Java. So let me install the Java quickly, and I have some complete Java installation guide on semgalaxy.com, and then I think I need Java 8, and I'm going to get it, Java 8, and my Java got installed in few seconds. So now you can visualize the power of AWS. If you install Java in your local machine, probably it will spend 30 minutes to 40 minutes, but now I got this Java installed in few seconds. Okay, so now I got this Java install done, JDK basically, and now I'm going to install this Jira. chmod 755. I have to give the execute permission, and now keep entering. And my Jira is running on 8080, so it should be installed and configured in few seconds.
So it appears you have an account with AWS. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you see that my Jira is up and running. Wonderful. And now I got this IP address and 8080. I'll configure it. I need a trial license. I have account for account.atlassian.com. I will get it, the account easily. Generate a license. I got this license, and I'm good with it. So now my email address is rajesh@SEMGalaxy, Rajesh123, Rajesh123. So my Jira should be up. In few seconds. Don't worry, I will not take up more time to show you the demo because I'm using very good speed on the AWS.
Rajesh, don't worry, I can see that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now my Jira is ready, and I'm acting like an architect now. Let's say requirement and stuff like that. I'll have to write some requirement. Okay, so create a project, and it's again different training. I'm not getting into this, but my product name is product X. Okay, I got created my project, and as an architect, remember I am architect, I am writing some requirement for someone, for the programmer. So first thing, I'm going to create a ticket, and you have to create it's not a bug, it's an improvement, or it's a new feature. Create a login page. Create a login page for products. This is the description. Okay, I am giving this due date, it should be done in by, let's say, 14th, and assign, I don't have any users, let me assign to myself, everything is okay, great, and create this. Okay, wonderful. Now I got this requirement done. I'll go to refer my dashboard as a user. So I was acting like a architect, but now I have to act like a programmer. Okay, and one ticket got assigned to me and say that I have to create a login page for the production X. Cool, I got this requirement. Now I'll read this requirement, and now I need to start coding. So now you can got this Jira, but where you start coding and storing the source code? Git. So I am going to use Git as a github.com, so we can save some time setting up. So now I'll go to the github.com and have my code ready on github.com. And assuming my code is, let's say, this one. Okay, this is my code, and I'm going to modify online. Okay, this is my sample code. I've already logged in, and I will acting like developers now, and I added my code. And what is this ticket all about? This one, prod1. This is work done for prod1 task. Okay, I committed this one on the source code management is done. Now I'll go here, I say in progress, and done. I completed this work. Wonderful. So now as a programmer, I did completed this work. You have the source code here now. So we got this requirement here, we got the source code here. Now you need to build it. So you need to build how? Using Maven. So if you see that, I have also incorporated Maven code here in this sample program, pom.xml, which will help me to build it. So now if you want to see that, I will go and check whether it's working or not. So I will build it through Maven. And what I'm going to do, CDD drive, Pradeep, I'm going to create one directory, Pradeep, CD Pradeep, and then git clone this URL. Okay, I will verify it's building or not. So what I do, I need to just type mbn compile. That's a Maven thing. Already my scripts are there, which will help me to compile the source code inside the src directory. And let me do that. So I could see that compilation is happening, and it's happening, started, and it will pass. I know that for sure. So there's a problem in it, and I will have to fix it because I keep changing the environment, and I will have to fix it here. Maven problem is here. I'll just remove it. I'll come back to that. This is again as a part of the demo, but after some time. So I just did Maven compile. And now you see that build success. That means I'm okay. I'm able to do that everything without any issues. If you look at this, it got a target directory, it got a classes, it got all these classes, whatever it's required. Cool. Now I got it done. So now as a architect, someone raised a Jira architect. Someone raised issues in the Jira. I did the development using the Git. Now as a BR team, he did the compilation using Maven. Now I need to package. So BR team will package this into the how can you do the packaging? Clear this screen and MDN. First thing UT, right? So developers has to do UT. So either you run with the help of the BR team itself, so or unit test cases. So how can you run the unit test cases? Just type ambient test. All the script has been written already in that maven.xml, pom.xml, and now you see that there's a test has been started. There's only one test cases, one run, zero failure, error, everything is okay. So now UT I'm going to done with the JUnit. Okay, now BR after the unit I have to do the packaging. So packaging, how you can do? I need a packaging through the jar file. So let's do that, the packaging through the jar file, ambient packeg, and now you can see that packaging is in progress. Now you see that package has then been created. Now you want to check it out, the packages. Here you have a target and this package is ready. So your package is ready. Now what do you want to do? You're going to put these packages on the repository. Okay, and which is the repository? Repository is your Nexus. So we need to have a Nexus setup now. So in order to have a Nexus setup, what I'm going to do, Nexus download. And I'm going to download OSS, and where I can download, it's here. This is the place. Click on it, and here is the URL. You'll get it. Copy. Started downloading, I guess, but I don't want to download. Okay. Now I'm going to download this Nexus file here. And Java is installed. Nexus is based on the Java, so it's already installed, so I don't have to get trouble for it. So I just unzip. So unzip is not there, so yum install unzip. This software is not there in my operating system. So here unzipping. Okay, so tarball. Okay, so tar -z xvf. I got this Nexus. You can see this directory, I got it, Nexus. Now I'm going to run the Nexus as well. So go to the bin and running this Nexus, which is here. Java is there, so I don't need it. So it's required to start. Now started. So now I don't know the port number, so I will go to the etc and view Nexus properties file, and the port number is 8081. So now I am going to the IP address and 8081.
8081.
Here. So my Nexus is up and running in few seconds. So now what I am going to do, I am going to store this jar file in the Nexus. Okay, in the Nexus. So this, you can see this my Nexus is coming. Okay, now it's like this. Username is what? admin, and no, admin123. Yes. So password has been taken. Now what I want to store my repository in the Nexus. This is a snapshot repository. This is the repository on the Nexus. So what I need pom.xml. I will change this configuration, and this is the copy, I think, snapshot. So I'll just modify this, and this is the copy of the release, and modify my steps accordingly. I will correct this and then adding Nexus repo. Then I modify this. Cool. And now one more thing I have to do, and that is in setting.xml admin123, and here let's say products. Okay, ID should be products as well. So we go to do no ID. What is this deployment? So let's copy this deployment here. Okay, so username is admin, password is admin123, deployment ID which is matching with my here. Everything is cool. Now I will go and get this done. Get pull origin master. I'm pulling the data which I changed online, and I got this done. And before that, running this deployment, before running that uploading to the artifact to the Nexus, I will show you whether that is empty or not. So let me close, let me open, and let's see that there is no artifact. There is a snapshot, there is no artifact. So now I am going to run mbn deploy, which will copy the package to the Nexus. That's the command to copy the package to the Nexus. And now see that it has uploaded the n number of jar here on my Nexus server. You want to verify, here it is snapshot com.sample, and you got these jar files uploaded. So now I could do that here. So we did the architect, Jira, Git, we did Maven, we did UT, we did packaging, we did, and repository, uploaded to repository. But one more thing we did not do, we did not do the static code analysis, which should be after this. SonarQube, static code analysis. This is not done. Analysis. Now,
is this standard code? Is it the standard code? Is it a standard, or do you have to make the standard?
No, this is the standard. Remember, your quality release also tell you should be enforcing a developers to write a better code.
No, and there are a couple of. I understand, but is the standard the standard of writing a code, is it standardized across in the world, or there are few standards?
No. So when you talk about the static code analysis process, there's tools actually. Static analysis tools, and for each languages there are a hell lot of tools, and many of these are free and open source. So if you see that these are the technology, but let me talk about the Java. So these many tools we have is static code analysis. This has a rule. You need to run these rules on your source code to get the report whether you are writing a bad code or good code.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So now I did not do static code analysis, which I'll be showing you in Jenkins string. Now what we did all this thing. We have everything, but I want to make SonarQube also running. So let me download the SonarQube quickly, and SonarQube. So I need all these servers to be happen properly, and download. Let's download latest one. I just copy this URL, so now I go to my server, and let me tell you, for the real-time scenario, everything has to be in a different server. It should not be one server. You lose everything. Okay, so wget and SonarQube URL, which you have it here. Okay, so I got this SonarQube. I'm going to extract it. Okay, and now you see that where the SonarQube is here, and I'm starting this SonarQube. Started the SonarQube. Now SonarQube is running on 9000 port, which I can recall. So I'm going to SonarQube, and 9000 port. Wonderful. So now I got all these entities almost, okay, in order to showcase you the pipeline. So now where I need the pipeline? We need the pipeline on Jenkins. So I need the Jenkins installations also. So let me grab the Jenkins installation. Okay, my SonarQube is ready. Let me download this. I am using CentOS, sorry, Red Hat. So I will have to perform this activities. And
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you. That's clear, very clear. Rajesh.
yeah,
Hi, Rajesh. I think I'll make an account on AWS. Which is better, AWS or Amazon?
Amazon AWS is the
What?
same thing actually.
It's same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll make an account on AWS, whatever the AWS.
Yeah.
So suppose I have a machine, and then I can install these things on that machine.
Yes, because it's like it's save your life actually, because you know if you do all these setups, probably you might have spent 3 hours or by now.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So now we have we got this Jenkins installed, but I'm not going to start the services. The reason is I'm running Jira on 8080 port. So by default, the default port of the Jenkins is 8080. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that uh, uh,
Okay.
this port of Jenkins. Otherwise, it will be conflict for that, and it will not run it. So I am going to look for the Jenkins configuration file, and which is here etc sysconfig Jenkins, and I'm going to modify this file and going to change this port number from 8080 to something else, and let's say let me put
Yeah,
it.
on top. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to put it 8090, which will be good. And now I'm going to start the services CTL start Jenkins. CTL start Jenkins. So now my Jenkins started, and now the time has come to configure the Jenkins. So here 8090, and now you can see that this Jenkins has up, and the password you have in this location for unlocking the Jenkins, and I got this. Continue. Select installation suggested plugins.
These are by default. These plugins come by default.
They are suggesting these plugins should be installed by default. And if you're expert, then you can
Okay.
skip this one. But as of now, I'm not expecting this one, because again, if you're,
No, no.
yeah, then you'll have to install one by one, and that's consume lots of time. And if you install this plugin, same thing in your desktop, probably will take 1.5 hours. But here it will take few seconds.
Yes, of course. Approximately, what does it cost you for having a machine, let's say for a year on AWS?
See, if you are running 8 GB machine for a month, it will cost you around 18,000 or something.
80,000. Okay.
Yeah.
irrespective whether I use it only 1 hour a day or 10 hours a day?
No, no, no. This AWS charge you per hour basis. So if you are using only for 1 hour, it will charge you for an hour. If you are using for the 2 hours, it will be charging you for the 2 hours. So you ask me for a month,
Okay.
so I said in a month. If you are not running for a month, you'll have to
Okay.
pay much less than.
Okay. No. I might have a machine online or on AWS, but I might use it only for 1 hour a day or something.
In that case, what do? You just like that, you go and create a machine and you stop it if
Okay.
you're not using it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so almost is got installed.
Yeah.
Okay, my username is Rajesh. Password is Rajesh123. Confirm password Rajesh123. Full name Rajesh Kumar. Email address Rajesh @ SCM Galaxy. And save and finish. Now your my Jenkins is also ready. So now we got everything done. All the ingredients whichever is required to get started, get it done. Now what I'm going to do? Let's get started with the static code analysis. So I want that code to be done with the static code analysis. What I'm going to do? I am going to use Jenkins and create a job and let's say code analysis. Code analysis. Freestyle project, okay. And I have one sample project for this. Again, I use all the time sample projects. So you don't have to wait for this. So I have a sample project. Let's name it Jacoco. Okay, this is a sample project which has many things. You have a pom.xml, you have Sonar, you have Jacoco, so many things are there in this project. Okay, so I use this one. So my source code is in Git, and what I am going to do, I am going to do as per the discussion, I am going to do static code analysis of the source code. In the build, I am going to find the static code analysis. No, we don't have. So what I am going to do, Jenkins, manage plugins, and I'm going to available tab and I'm going to install SonarQube plugin. SonarQube plugin, which is this one, second one, install without restart. So these plugins were not coming as per by default, so I'm going to grab it, no problem in it. Okay, and I almost got this SonarQube plugin.
Okay.
And now, once you got this SonarQube plugin, you have to go Jenkins, job, configure again edit mode, and the build section. Now you should see execute SonarQube scenario, which was not there earlier. So I just selected it, let it go with the by default options and save it and build now. It failed. Why? Because there is no Sonar server and there is no Git and all kind of things. So some of the prerequisite tools which you need to have a Git. So let me quickly install Git. If you read the error, you will get the error. You will understand. You see that cannot run program Git. So Git was not there in my server, so it was not running. So it's required. Again, you need to go. If you want to get into the deep, you have to go to the Jenkins training. Now we got some other error. It says SonarQube is not set up. So remember, you download and set up the SonarQube, but I did not configure it. So I just go to configure system, and this is my SonarQube server, which is this one. I need to go and add this SonarQube server here. So let's put it SonarQube name, anything whatever you like. This is my server address. Authentication keys you will get only after the login. So just you log in using admin at admin123. Nope. PASSWRD. No, ADMIN. Yeah, so it's taken. Now I'm going to grab the authentication keys from here. My account, security. For Jenkins, I'm going to create a authentication key. I got this authentication key and I put it here and then save it. Now you need to configure one more thing, scanner, in order to Jenkins to talk to the SonarQube server. Scanner is here, okay, and I'm just adding the scanner and I just automatically Jenkins will install it, just configure it and everything is done. Now I go and run this guy and you see that on Jenkins SonarQube server homepage you have nothing, no projects you have it. So just run it.
Yes.
And I can see this console output. Checked out, is installing the Sonar scanner, is running this Sonar scanner, gathering the reports. I can see that 2 files is there in the source file. So everything is okay. Now it's got successful. Now you want to check it out the reports of the static code analysis. Click on the SonarQube icon. It will redirect to the SonarQube server and this is the report. You have 0 bugs, 0 security issues, but 17 minutes of debt. What is all about debt? So you have duplicate code probably. So these are the things you have to fix it. So now you look at this SonarQube dashboard. You have one project. This is the project name, and these are the issues which I have. So now static code analysis has been done. Developers will come to this place, see that what the error they are making, and accordingly they have to fix it. And the code, do the code commit again in the GitHub and run this stuff. So now you could get it done. Static code analysis through SonarQube server. Remember, SonarQube is a static code, a code quality management tool. Analysis being done by the PMB, check style, find bugs, and many other rules, which is you have in SonarQube itself. Now, one task is done. Okay. I could check out the source code from the Jenkins. Okay, I could check out the source code from the Jenkins, and now 8090. And then do the static code analysis. Now next is build. How can you do the build? Let's do that. Compile.
Just a sec, Rajesh.
Yep.
Rajesh, just 1 minute. Can someone do this code, static code analysis on his own?
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hi, Rajesh.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry.
Yeah, Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, Rajesh.
Yeah, tell me.
Static code analysis before he uploads on the.
Yeah. So you are saying the static code analysis should be done before the GitHub. Is that right?
That's right. Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Developer has to integrate the plugin in Eclipse or Visual Studio, and that can be done. So static code analysis has to be done, can be done in local also. That's not a problem, because all this tool which I showed you, PMB, check style, find bugs, MI, and all, it can be configured at the developer desk as well.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. So now you saw that we could get it done, the static code analysis. Now we have to do the build management done. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to Jenkins and I put it the job name compile, and this time I'm going to copy from the same job, static code analysis, and I'll copy this thing because source code is remains same. Okay. New item, compile, and source code remains same. Just I need to go and remove this guy because I don't want to do static code analysis, but I want to do build. My build management tool is in Maven, so it's like Maven, and then put the goal name, compile, save it. Whichever I did in the local, I'm just doing in the Jenkins. And one more thing I have to do, I need to configure the Jenkins. Just a second, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up these Maven, because these are the one-time setup actually you have to do, because my Jenkins is a very fresh thing and it has nothing actually. So we have to do this to make it working. And let me just go and run my compile job, which is here, configure and build, and select the Maven which I want, save it and compile now. So I just did the compile, it should be fine I think, so there's no problem in it because all these things are in place. So yeah, it's unpacking the Maven is a first time job, but rest of the time it will take less time. So now we got it done this Maven, let me got it done the unit test cases. Let me remind you the source code which I am using, that has many things. So you have a Sonar, you have Maven, you have a Jacoco, you have unit test cases. You can see that unit test cases, everything you have it inbuilt. I put it in the sample project itself, so just for showing you the right demo. So I'm going to put it this time unit test cases. I'll name it UT and I'll copy from the file. And I just need to do, that's the beauty of Maven, like you just need to change the goal name and that's all. So unit test is done, build now. And now after that you have to create unit testing is packaging. So let me create a packaging job this time, and packaging is in Java, packaging in let's say what is it, compile and source code management. Should I make these changes here only? So let me make the changes here only rather than the different project. Let's use the only one project, so that way it's better. So I have a sample project for many scenarios, but what I'm going to do, the upload should be done on the Nexus, and for that I needed these scripts. This scripts I should be having it. So this changes I'm going to make in this file itself. So the deploy can be happening with the same project. So I'll just put it here, done, adding Nexus. Okay, save changes. And now one more thing I have to do, and that is copying this in the server. So now I need to find out where is my goal, call this goal name package, everything is okay, save. And now let's trigger this job as well. So compile Maven, click on it, console. I go to the look, I need to know the location of Maven, so Maven locations will be on the top of that page, and for that I'm just calling up and click on it. And Maven location is here, and I go to my machine server, v ec2-user sudo -s, clear the screen, cd conf and vi setting.xml. I need to change this guy, so permission should be given to upload that to the Nexus, and which is here. Okay, and I'll just copy this username and password from the local to the server, and done. So now prerequisite is done, my deployment job also should pass. So So you can see that's deployment job I had written. I don't know where it is. So we got the compile UT package. Next one is deployment. So dep to Nexus.
Yeah.
This I'm deploying in the Nexus. Packaging, compile. Anyone will be working for me, and this time deploy. Okay, let me figure it out. Okay, so now this is the things. So we did the code analysis. We have the code analysis here. This time we have a compilation. Compilation is here, done successfully.
Yeah.
We have a unit test cases. So reports, I want that to be visible on this pages itself, because DevOps says sharing and monitoring. So configure post build action, go and create a report, so which is here, and then what is the location for this report? So location for the report, let me open in this workspace, target, and reports location is Surfy. Okay, so this is the location, target Surfy. I put it here, post build action. Now again I will compile one more time. It will not take more than few seconds, and this time it got failed. It got failed due to the error. Okay, there's an error in the configuration file. No problem, I'll fix it. And I need to say star.xml. Save it. Build now one more time. Wonderful. So now it has happened. Now you can see this test reports on the here only. If you start here, you can see the test report here. Okay, so now these are the reports you can see on the Jenkins itself. Now, so wonderful, so far it's going well. Now we could configure the study code analysis, Maven build, unit test, packaging done, deployment is done on the Nexus or not, I need to verify. So let me see that. I'm writing the deployment job, but it's not saving it. I don't know. Oh, it's there, deploy to Nexus. Okay, now it's deployed or not. Let me verify in the Nexus. So Nexus is here, and snapshot. Yeah, I can see this com.bogoto has come here, and wonderful. So now deployment is done. Now after the deployment, we have to create one dummy job this time, deploy to QA server. Okay, and this is just a dummy because I need a chef server and all the stuff like that. So that's the thing. So now let me put the deployment to QA, and now I'm going to need one more dummy job for deploy to acceptance testing, which include every sort of the testing, which is acceptance testing, and it's a dummy job again. So this acceptance test will call Selenium QTP related script and all, and kind of thing. So we got it all this thing done. Let me build now this one as well. And last thing which I need is I need one test coverage, because we discussed about the test coverage which is here. So we did the Jira, we did the Git, we did the SonarQube, we did the Maven, we did the JUnit, we got the packages, we deployed the package to the Nexus, we got the chef dummy, acceptance test dummy, now Jacoco. So Jacoco again, we call it code coverage, okay, coverage. And I'm going to use a sample project again, and here save it and build now. And this time I'm going to delete this, and coverage is not there here, so no problem. I'm going to install the plugins. Jacoco plugins is needed for this, so it should be there in the manage plugins. available Jacoco. This plugin I'm going to install. Okay, so Jacoco plugin installed. I go to the code coverage, configure. Here coverage will require after the test, so I have to verify, and then code coverage will be, I can see that here record the code coverage.
Yep.
Save it. So simple, because I designed, why it's so simple and I don't have to change much, because I designed this project in a certain way, so it should automatically take all the default path. I am referring it, so I am not finding any difficulties. But if you have a customized path, you need to spend some time on the configuring the right path here and there and sort of things. See, this is the default path, so you'll get the exec file in the same path, classes in the same path, Java in the same path. So I designed the source code according to this. Okay, so someone has to design this whole project layout as per the requirement or change these settings. Okay, so be mindful about it. So now
Yep.
I just did the code coverage, and now let me check it's happening, success. And now code coverage, you have it here, you can see that this is the code coverage reports. So now you could get it everything done. Okay, but the thing is, let me remind you, all this project you have ready, you can schedule the job and you can run it wherever you want it and stuff like that. But the relationship is between this, all this job is like after the Git, it should call the SonarQube. After this commit you should call the SonarQube you should call the build you should call the unit test you should call the packaging you should call the deployment to repo you should call the deployment should call the acceptance testing. So all this should be interdependent, so we'll have to make a dependency. So now I'll go to the compile. Before compile, code analysis, and code analysis should call the compile process. So I'll go to the post build action, and here build other project, and I will set the compile, save it, refresh it. Now downstream is project is compile. After the compile, you should call the unit test cases. So I again post build action, build other project, build other project, and here what you should unit test cases, and unit test cases should call the packaging. So configure.
Okay.
Here post build action, packaging should call deploy to repo. Deploy to Nexus. Now deploy to Nexus should call QA. Deploy to Nexus to call deploy to QA. So deploy to QA, which will call the chef script or puppet scripts and all stuff like that. And deploy to QA will call acceptance testing. And acceptance testing should call code coverage.
Yeah. Okay.
And your flow is ready. So now if you call one, which is you call static code analysis, then automatically it will call everything. So if you see that,
yes.
So
yes,
now in the left side you see this build executor. Now it's code analysis. After the code analysis, it should take some compile. It has taken compile. See that left side.
Yeah, I can see that.
And after that UT has been taken.
Yes.
And after the packaging has been taken, and after the dip to Nexus and something like that. So now you see that after this, if someone asks you, okay, you are having the immediate release, yes, you can say, yes, I am having the release which is passed through the code coverage, and that means you are able to release that packages any given point of the time because everything is automated. Now, are you able to reduce the cost reduction? Yes. Earlier you were able to do the release once in a 3 months, 6 months or something like that. Now you are able to do release every day. And also you are able to use so many technologies. You can avoid the manpower, so much of the manpower and this and that and kind of things. Are you able to quality release? Yes. You have put the static code analysis and code coverage as part of the process. So you are able to improve the quality of the code. Again, it's a very depth topics. Each of these are a very in-depth topics and stuff like that. So that required the things. But now your ultimate question is, where is a pipeline? Where is a what's it? Your things which is you are expecting. Like how can you create a pipeline, right? Right. That was your concern, right?
Now, yeah, Rajesh, one thing, can I stop you here for a minute?
Yeah, please.
Rajesh, now what happens when you're doing a code analysis and all that thing, and sorry, compilation fails? So it will stop there. Is my understanding correct?
Yes, it has to be stopped there. So the moment it is stopped there, you get the immediate feedback through emails or through visualization, and someone has to fix that immediately. That means
okay, got it.
That's all about the immediate feedback and monitoring.
Yeah, sure.
Any other question?
No, that's more than enough. Thank you.
So now I have to create a pipeline. So how can you create a pipeline? So there's so many pipeline plugin in Jenkins which is available, more than 10. So now it depends on you which one you like it, which view you like it, what functionality you want in the pipeline. One of the basic pipeline which I like it more, which is we call it build pipeline. Okay, this is the wonderful pipeline, and I'm going to install it to have a better visualization about this. Okay, so now I just install it. This pipeline is dependent on some of the additional plugins. So let me grab it. And now your product name is product X. So this pipeline is almost installed. Let me wait for the confirmation message. Okay, so now you see that this pipeline is installed. Now I am going to create a pipeline, product X CICD pipeline.
Okay.
And I just name it view name and select this build pipeline which I installed it and click OK. A lot of options you have it, but I'm going to select some of the important one, like a select initial job. So my initial job is code analysis, and how much view I want 5 or 10 builds to be shown, and then everything let it be remain same. I just change the title also, so it's better, and then save it. And now this is your pipeline, and you click once, automatically it will be taken and show you the visualization, immediate feedback. It can send the emails also based on the jobs configurations and whatever you are doing it.
Great. This is excellent. Thank you, Rajesh.
Now some of the things which is again is pending, automatically this will be keep running. Whenever it's failure, anyone can see that it's a red, it will become a red, and then you have to fix that issues immediately, revert the changes or whatever it has to be done, and then it can fix. So now in order to fix that issues, you have to be promptive. You probably can display somewhere near to your workspace on your big screen, so everyone will be notified like what is the status of your project, where it's failing, whether it's in code analysis, compilation, UT, packages, deploy to Nexus or deploy to QA, or acceptance testings or code coverage, where exactly is failing, and everything will be monitored. Okay.
Yep, correct.
Okay, so there are a few more things which I would like to add here. There's one thing like I have a jobs here in the compilation. Let me refresh this guy. And I have a jobs in the compilation, and I want to know how many commits has been done for this. So you see that there's a commit, but there's no relationship between who has who's the developers and all. And for that, what you need to do, you need to go to the Jira and create a relationship between this. So Jira again is an integration of the GitHub and all. So you go to the manage here, applications, and Rajesh 123, and here you have a DVCS account. I'm integrating Jira with the GitHub, so that way you can see the things in a better way. My account is SCM Galaxy. Client ID, I don't have it now. So let me grab it, go to github.com, and for the each project, register a new application, prod X, the location which is here. So I got this client ID, and here client secret. Now I am able to talk to the repository. Now I'm integrating Jira with the GitHub. So you have to integrate each and everything. So that way it's better for having the time saving for the developers, managers, QA guys, IT. So it's a good practice. It's taking a little bit of time linking new accounts because I have so many repository. Any questions meanwhile?
No, no, that's great. That's what it's excellent. It's going perfect. So does the whatever you call it when you create a story, whatever you call it in Jira,
Yeah.
or ticket or whatever you call it, will it keep getting allocated to different people automatically, or do we have to do it?
No, so what you have to do, you have to enable the Jira with the LDAP, okay? So those who are creating a ticket,
Okay.
they can assign to individual or they can assign to the team or project, okay? And someone will read this ticket and read this and can assign to self or can be assigned to someone else. So this is something like it can be done, okay? So now my project
Okay.
is Jacoco, so which is here. I want to map only one project, which is this one. So remaining I will
Yeah.
skip. Uh, and I'm just disabling the most of the thing. The reason is it will take a lot of time to sync, and my demo will be
Okay.
taking too much of time. So I'm just disabling, because the more repository you have and more less CPU you have for the Jira, it will consume more time, and that's the reason about it. There's no options where I can disconnect all at once, unfortunately. Okay, so now let's go with this much. Okay, now what I'm doing, I have selected my source code is here in this Jacopo, which is in this one. Okay, this one. So
Yes.
now I go and first create a Jira ticket. So I'm going to and creating a Jira ticket. So let's create a ticket, and let's say uh, registered page should be there. Registered page should be created. Should be created. And this is a description, and priorities, let me highest. I'll put it everything, and now I'm assigning to whom. So let me assign to myself here, and because I don't have any other developer in this system. So
Yeah.
I got this, now I'm acting like a developer. I got this ticket, now I am going to work on this source code. So where's my source code? My source code is in GitHub. I am going to online modification. You can do that through editor also, but online I'm just trying it out. So suppose this, if I modify this one, this some number I will add it just to fix it, 11. And now you have to be mindful about it, whatever the key of the tickets. Okay, the tickets is this one. Okay, this you have to keep it here, fix for this key. This is unique key all the time. For the each key you get the unique number, and you have to keep it here. Now I just did it, and after that you see that automatically one things has come. This was not there earlier, so automatically this has come,
Uh-huh.
one commit. That means if for this Jira ticket who's working and what the commit has been made, automatically you can get it in the Jira. Okay, and now you can see that, okay, for this commit this guy has made these changes in GitHub. So easy. Okay, now if you look at the Jenkins, and I'm going to build this Jenkins one more time, and build now. Okay, and let it happen, the build, and click on the recent changes. Now you see, can see that here fix for prod O, and if you click here,
Yeah.
you can see that who has fixed for this prod O. Now you want to integrate Jenkins with Jira. Simply you have to do manage Jenkins, manage plugins,
Okay.
and available, and click Jira,
Okay.
Jira issue updater or plugin,
Okay.
and install it.
Oh, there are lots of.
You have to little bit of reading actually, which one you need it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got it here. I will go to my compile job and recent changes, and now I am going to fix one more code for it, and I will modify this one code, and I will do this version change 14. No, it will fail this. I'll just do here. Okay, and this time again same ticket I am modifying. Okay, and now I am building this job one more time. Okay, one thing I missed out, and that is configuring the Jira. So because my system Jenkins is not knowing the Jira where you have a Jira. So here Jira site,
Okay.
add Jira, and the link of the Jira should be given here. Okay, and now everything is okay. Username is, let me recall this, I forgot this. I think admin Rajesh 123. Yep. So Rajesh and Rajesh
Yep.
123. So I need to inform Jenkins your password is this one. Now validate settings. It's got success. Save it. And now I'll modify one more changes just for the demo. And I'll make it this one too, and this is for the same, no, this is for the same ticket which I'm currently working, prod 2, more fix for prod 2, commit, and one more build of the compile, and this time see that link automatically has enabled. If you click on this, if
Yep.
someone wants to know, okay, this build is why we are doing this build, what has been done special about this build. So anyone can click here this number because the developers has been updating this number uh, for what they are checking the code. Click on this and anyone can read that, okay, this build is basically for fixing this issues, registered page should be created. Okay, so I just complete this work, I put it done and over. So my Jira is updated. I have no task remain, and this is the key things. Keep on. You have to keep on doing this stuff and together. So now with this, you are able to create a pipeline from the requirement analysis till the release, and your release is available any given of the point of time. You're making sure that quality is also not been compromised and also improved, and cost reduction at the utmost, because here you are saving lots of time and lots of people are
Yep.
saving the manual works and they are not doing. So rather than manual works, lots of things, meetups, coordinations and all, developers is focusing on the coding, QA is focusing on the writing the better codes, and the BR team is focusing on the infrastructure. So that way you can speed up the productions and things like that. Any questions?
I, yeah. Tell me, Rajesh, one thing, please. Now, fantastic. It looks fantastic because we just did it in a trial environment. Everything was ready. But in real life, when a story is created, let's say a login scenario. So the developer will write the code,
Yep.
right? Developer will write the code. So at the same time, the QA, the unit testers, they must write their own testing code as well. Am I correct?
Right.
For everything to function, so he must say, so basically there should be a rhythm which says, okay, I'm going to put my thing in Git. I'm the developer, I put it into Git, and at the same time the others must put their stuff in the respective places.
Yeah, right.
That's only
Basically,
that's the only way and
nowadays the
that
development is like that. Nowadays you don't need to have the function ready to write the test cases, because this is designed in a certain ways. Like you can keep the, let's say developers is writing a code, so QA can make a skeleton because they have a requirements already by the architect team, so they can keep ready the skeletons, and the moment you add one functionality, by tomorrow or day after tomorrow you should be having the acceptance test ready for that.
so the thing is, it will not work in a pipeline as we had seen. What will happen is it'll stop at build, and only when that test is ready it will move ahead. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's like this. Till some point of the time, QA will be little bit late. When you're starting the project from the scratch, the QA will be little bit late.
Yep.
But once you are maintaining the project over the period of time, then it's like adding features and bug fixing and testing the features. And then in that case, the things will be much more stable in this way actually.
All right. Okay. Got it. All right. Got it. No, thanks. It was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, that's more than enough, Rajesh. I mean, I think I got what I needed.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you this notepad. I'm going to send it to you, and also I'm going to upload this video on YouTube, and
Yeah.
URL will be sent to you by end of the day via email.
No, you will send the recording to me. How will you? Via email, right?
Yes, I'll send it to you via email. This recordings will be uploaded to YouTube privately, and access will be granted only to you because you are the participant.
Okay. Great. Great. Yeah, that's all. Thanks then, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Rajesh, one thing I want to ask you, are you also doing Jira?
Yeah, I do. I just said like I support all these tools which is mentioned in the scmgalaxy.com courses. So in these courses, if you have tools here, that means I'm supporting those tools.
Okay, I need to learn Jira properly. Properly means properly.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
Sorry, so somewhere in the month of August, first week, I will come to you for Jira.
Sure. Yep. Anytime.
But Jira, I need a little bit more detail. So how long will it take? How long can you spend on Jira?
I think 4 hours should be sufficient.
All right. Yeah, and yeah, Jira I want it to be properly because that will be my bread and butter.
Sure. Yep. I'll do that.
All right then. Thanks very much for your help. Anything else?
Nothing as of now. Yeah, you can shoot out the question to me via email if you have any questions further.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank you.